So let us continue our discussion on reverse charge mechanism. So today we will be discussing the GTA services. What is GTA? Goods Transport Agency. Goods Transport Agency. Okay. Now before proceeding further, first let us try to understand what does GTA mean. The definition is given here. GTA means any person who provides services in relation to transport of goods by road and issues a consignment note by whatever name called. So the important essence here is only those persons will be treated as GTA who issue something called as consignment note. Very important. Consignment note is nothing but normally you would have seen if you have given in some transport, if you have given some goods for transport to a transport company, a proper logistic company, they will issue a consignment note wherein your name of the sender, name of the recipient, address, what is the goods, value of goods. Especially in big logistic companies they do. Small logistic companies they don't follow this, but in big logistic companies they do follow this. And one more important thing to note here, it is that individual truck or tempo operators, this is the normal ones which you see if you want to shift your house, you call some individual truck guy or tempo guy, who do not issue any consignment note, are not covered within the meaning of the term make a correction, within the meaning of the term GTA. Yes, and supply of transportation services by these unregistered persons stands exempted under notification 12/2017. We will see the details of the exemption one by one. I have given all the exemptions related to this entry over here. So once we complete this entry, we will link it with the exemption. Okay, so now since we know what is Goods Transport Agency, the next thing what you need to know here is the tax rates. See, GTA it can either be RCM or FCM. Sir, but now we are studying reverse charge. Just try to understand what I am telling. RCM 5% and FCM will be 12%. So what is the difference? When you go for RCM, that is at the rate 5%, the GTA, the Goods Transport Agency, cannot claim any ITC. No ITC. And if they take ITC, input tax credit, automatically they will come under forward charge 12%. Okay. So the two tax rates, what is the tax rate? 5%, 12%. If you opt for 5%, you will automatically come under reverse charge mechanism and there is no input tax credit to the GTA. And if you opt for 12%, it will be forward charge and you can claim ITC of all the input and input services that you have availed to provide this service. Okay. So now we have understood this. Next thing, we will see who should be the supplier of service in case of this entry. It says Goods Transport Agency, we know what is GTA now, who has not paid 6% CGST. So it will be 6% CGST, 6% SGST. 6 plus 6, that is 12%. Just now what I discussed with you. So you should be a supplier who has not paid this 12%. Meaning by you are choosing to pay 5%, not you. Again, the recipient has to pay under RCM. So the supplier of service should be a Goods Transport Agency who has not paid CGST at the rate 6%. Now, who should be the recipient of service? First, let us come to point D. Why, sir, point D? Just let me tell you point D, then we will discuss the other points. Any person registered under CGST Act or the IGST Act or SGST Act or UTGST Act. In short, if a registered person, a registered person. So if a registered person is taking the services of GTA, automatically if the GTA has opted for 5% rate, then it will come under RCM. Sir, if they have given registered person directly, then what is the use of giving the other things? Good question. See, the other things are given because they want to cover these people even if they are unregistered. See, a registered person automatically gets covered here. But the following unregistered persons also get covered. Who are those? Any factory registered and governed under the Factories Act. That means they are not registered under GST Act, but they are registered under Factories Act. They will get covered in A point. Then B. What is B point? Society registered under the Societies Registration Act 1980 or under any law for time being in force in India. So society, unregistered society will get covered here. Registered person, automatically they will get covered under clause D. Next, cooperative society established under any law for time being in force. So registered cooperative society automatically will get covered in point D, and unregistered cooperative society will get covered in point C. Then any body corporate established by any law, then any partnership firm whether registered or not, and any casual taxable person located in the taxable territory. Sir, how can a casual taxable be unregistered, sir? Because we studied that if you go for exhibition temporary purpose to some other state, you have to take registration. Good question, valid question. But do you remember there was one exception to this? A casual taxable person selling handicraft goods, he is not required to take registration. Do you remember? So there can be an unregistered casual taxable person as well. Good. Okay, now we have understood. Now what is body corporate? Body corporate has been defined here in this notification. So what do they say? Body corporate includes a company incorporated outside India but does not include. See, it includes a company incorporated outside India but it does not include what? A cooperative society registered under any law and or any other body corporate which the central government may by notification specify in this behalf. This is the definition which is given under Companies Act. One important point to note here. LLP is also a body corporate. See, body corporate includes a company, but for the purpose includes a company which is incorporated outside India but does not include only these two. But if you see LLP, it gets covered under the definition of body corporate. But for the purpose of this RCM notification, not only RCM, you can take it as GST as a whole. LLP will be covered under partnership. So limited liability partnership formed and registered shall also be considered only as a partnership firm. Yes, partnership firm or a firm. It will not be considered as a body corporate. So we have discussed two things now. One is Goods Transport Agency, who is GTA. We know who is a GTA, who has issued consignment note. Then what we have discussed, who are the recipients. In recipient, first thing what you have to remember is any person who is registered person. Then what we discussed factory, then we discussed society, then cooperative society, yes, then company or any body corporate, and then what we discussed, unregistered casual taxable person, yes, UCTP. We discussed all this. And one more thing, yes, I forgot, partnership firm. So we have discussed the main thing. So who is the supplier of service, who is the recipient of service. Now what happens in this case? RCM is applicable. Okay, great. Now there is one exception to this. What is the exception? However, reverse charge mechanism shall not apply. Where will it not apply? Shall not apply where the GTA services is provided to whom it is provided? A department or an establishment of central government, state government, a local authority or governmental agency which has taken registration under this act. See, because these people will get covered in clause D. Registered person, government may also have taken registration. Now they say they will not be covered. Who will not be covered? Department or establishment, local authority and governmental agency who have taken registration only for the purpose of section 51. Yes, you remember TDS, section 51. So they have taken service registration under section 51 only for the purpose of deducting TDS, and there is no other intention. Yes, so it will not apply here. That means what will become applicable here? Forward charge mechanism. Correct? Okay. So till now I think you have understood. There are certain exemptions. We will see that one by one. See what I have discussed with you already. 5% they have not taken input tax credit. 12%, when 12%, in this case there is no restriction on availing ITC. So to summarize, let us sum up. Person liable to pay tax under GTA service, where you choose 5%, where you choose 12%. If you choose 5%, recipient is one of the specified recipient, reverse charge is applicable, person liable to pay GST is such recipient. Then what did we, for now keep this separate, we will come to this because this is related to exemption. Then 12% recipient is one of the specified recipient, forward charge, person liable to pay GST is the goods transport agency. Recipient is other than specified recipient, that is unregistered individual end consumer. See, because all registered persons will get covered there, so it has to be some unregistered individual end consumer, then GST will be exempt. I hope it's clear. Yes, and we say recipient is liable to pay, recipient is liable to pay. Who is the recipient? Let us see the definition of recipient. Recipient is the person who is liable to pay the freight for transportation of the goods. Whoever is paying the freight, he will be the recipient. Okay, we have seen this. Now let us see the related exemptions. Services provided by transportation of goods. What is the related exemption? Transportation of goods, yes, by road except by GTA or courier agency. So except when it is provided by GTA, courier agency, or it is through inland waterways, which we are not very much bothered now, we just see related to GTA. So they say other than GTA. So other than GTA, what will get covered? Your individual truck or tempo. Yes, then bullock cart, that is also transport by road or by human itself. So all this will not get covered here. This is the basic exemption which they have given. Courier agency, it will come under forward charge. So that's why it has been removed here. We are not very much bothered about that now because we are discussing regarding the reverse charge. First things. Okay. Next. Guys, this one. You remember I told you this is taxable under forward charge. But there is one entry 21B through which they have exempted. So even forward charge is not applicable here. See, 21B. Services provided by GTA by way of transportation of goods to Department of Central Government, Local Authority, Governmental Agency who have taken registration under Section 51. So in short, what is the crux? RCM also not applicable and forward charge exempted by 21B. So no RCM and no forward charge because of 21B. So you have to remember these three, very important. Okay, next, what is the exemption which has been given? 21A, important one. They say services provided by GTA to unregistered person, including an unregistered casual taxable person, other than the following recipients. See now what is happening here. We said that in these cases, that is A, B, C, then E, F and G, even if they are unregistered, RCM will become applicable. Correct. Then what did we study here? What did I tell you? Unregistered individual end consumer is exempt from GST. From where that is coming? That is coming from this entry 21A. So unregistered person has been removed. Then unregistered CTP also has been removed. So balance 6 what are left, it will get covered here. Factory, society, other than the following. That means if these people are there, then RCM will become applicable. Yes, cooperative society, body corporate, partnership firm, casual taxable person registered under the Central Goods and Tax. So only a registered CTP. Okay, unregistered CTP will get removed from here. So if these people are there, then RCM will become applicable. This is what we discussed even on the above paragraph. Perfect. So now if we try to make a chart for this. So your recipient can either be a registered person or he can be an unregistered person. You agree? Now again, in recipient, registered person, he can be two things. One is that government related, what we studied, that is section 51, and the other is other registered persons, other registered person. So 5%, 12%, this is not applicable, and this is 21B exemption. For them, it can either be RCM or it can be FCM. Yes, we'll fine tune this chart. Now, in unregistered person, it can be BPCSF. Yes, or it can be casual taxable person, or it can be others. See, others is exempt. 21A. CTP again exempt. 21A. And this one, it can either be RCM or it can be FCM. Yes, guys, clear? It is based on what the GTA is choosing. Okay. Now, wherever it is taxable. See here, forward charge taxable, RCM taxable. But they have again given some exemption. What exemption they have given? That we will see in entry number 21. See, services provided by the goods transport agency by way of following. What are the services? Transporting what? Agricultural produce. So if agricultural produce is transported, then exempt. Superb. For now, leave B and C. We will come back to B and C. D. Milk, salt, food grains including flour, pulses and rice transported, exempt. Organic manure is transported, exempt. Newspaper, magazine registered with registrar of newspapers, exempt. Relief material for victims, exempt. Very important. Defense, because defense is one of the primary thing of importance for our country. Defense is of primary importance. Defense or military equipment transported by GTA will also be exempt. So this is where it is taxable based on the specific goods. They have given some exemption. Now what is this B and C? Let us see. Goods where consideration charge for transportation of goods on a consignment in a single carriage does not exceed 1500. So a factory, let us take factory, it books an entire tempo, full tempo, and the freight is only rupees 1000. Then they don't have to pay any GST on RCM or FCM because it is within 1500, does not exceed 1500. B. Then C. Goods where consideration charge for transportation of such goods for a single consignee does not exceed 750. We book a tempo, but this tempo does not carry only our goods, it carries goods of many people. A, B, C, D. It carries goods of many people. Yes, and for a single consignee, it does not exceed 750 rupees. The charge what they collect does not exceed 750 rupees. Then in that case also RCM is not applicable. So what are the specific categories? One is agricultural produce. One is where you book an entire tempo and the consideration is less than 1500. Multiple goods are transported in a tempo, that is in a vehicle, and the freight does not exceed 750. Milk, salt, food grain, organic manure, newspaper, relief material and defense equipments. So let us finally draw a conclusion. Recipient can either be registered person or an unregistered person. If he is a registered person, that is government, and who has taken registration only for the purpose of payment of TDS, or is other registered person. Here RCM though is not applicable and FCM is also not applicable because of 21B. Other registered person, either RCM can be applicable or FCM can be applicable. Unregistered person. Now in this unregistered person, who are these people? Body corporate, partnership firm, yes, cooperative society, society and factory. Again, RCM can be applicable or FCM can be applicable. Unregistered person, casual taxable person, exemption under section 21A. Others 21A, again sorry, not section 21A, entry number 21A of the notification. Okay, and where it is taxable, that is these cases, you have to check for exemption by entry number 21. What does 21 say? Let us finally pack it up. 21 says if you are transporting agriculture produce or consideration for the entire tempo 1500, many goods are carried in the tempo, then 750, milk, food grains, flour, pulses, rice, etc., organic manure, newspaper, relief materials or defense equipments. I hope you guys have understood the discussion clearly. Yes, so the next entry we will continue in the next class. Thank you.